Hi folks, and welcome to another week of the fixed GT3 challenge that is in B class on iRacing, and we are back at Road America. It seems this track has had quite a lot of attention this season. There was something in week 2 that had it, Skippy's had it in week 3, and then we're in week 4, running out of weeks there. Week 4, we're back in this. So yeah, a lot of love to Road America. It's a nice circuit. I do like it. Although with the sprint setup, which you can see right here, 9 wing is not our friend. You can get into 6th, but I don't think it's any fast. You may as well stay in 5th, to be honest. But yeah, 5th or 6th down the straights, I don't think makes a lot of difference. If you are struggling for 10ths, try keep it in 5th. If you're not, yeah, save some fuel. Not like you need it anyway. On this tab, you can see the track temperature, 77 Fahrenheit. Degrees will be above my head. And the track usage of 45%, which is what I always use for my track guides. It's moderate usage. So if you're high usage, you should have more grip. If it's low usage, you'll have less grip. The lap I'm actually going to show you is not lap 7, because that was by far not my cleanest lap. It is actually lap 15, the one towards the end. We had a couple of gallons left on the tank, and tyres a little bit worn, so we did a 2:05.380. That is the one I'm going to show you. Now, lap times did vary with this. I'm mid to high 05s, to be honest, and then dipping into the 0.3s. I'm struggling around here with GT3 cars at the minute just to get that apex. So yeah, I'm probably thinking the aliens are going to be in the 204s and maybe dipping into the 203s if they're really alien. So yeah, if you are struggling around here, just have a look on their corner and how they are entering the corner, because I think that's where I'm losing time, to be brutally honest with you. Anyway, above my head will be my Discord, and what we do on there is put the OLAP, BLAP telemetry and replay file. Also on there is a little Google Calendar thing that shows you what track guides are coming up. Go check that out if you are interested in following a few series this season. You can have a look what track guides I've done. And the other one that's going to be above my head is how I get into these sessions. So try and get them as accurate as I can, because obviously these are pre-recorded, to what the race session should be. So I use the UI, and that just explains up there how I do it. Otherwise, enough waffling. Let's crack on with the guide. Right then, Road America. Feels like I was here last week, and that's because I was in the Skippy. So, hunting down for turn 1, and we're in 6th gear. As mentioned, use 5th or 6th, doesn't really matter. But at that 3 cone, we are stamping on the brakes and try and turn in with as little brakes on as you possibly can, because you want to get all of that curve on apex, and you want a nice, smooth, clean exit. Because as mentioned in the Skippy one, that wall on the left-hand side appears pretty quickly. This line here, which is just near the 2 board over on the left-hand side on the wall, brake very heavy downhill, so be cautious. 2nd gear, and try and get on power as early as we can without actually running wide. Now, you do run a little bit wide here, dip a little bit on the grass, and you see I have a little bit of opposite lock to try and counter the slide from the rear end. So just manage that the best you can and try and get the best exit down this, I wouldn't say the back straight, I'd say more the front straight, but it's not the start-finish straight. We are preparing for the most awkward braking zone in the world, and just before this 2 board, or the end of the gravel trap on the floor, braking in a straight line over the curbing on the right hand side, 1st gear, nice and gently on the turn in, and then ease in the power nice and gradually. You can use all this curbing on exit, and then up the hill to the annoying turn 6. End of the advertising boards for the Radical. Brake in a straight line, 2nd gear, and just be gently on turning, because it can understeer through here quite heavily. You don't want to run too far wide, because it is easy to touch the grass and hit either one of the walls on either side of the track. Not good. This little kink is relatively, I would say flat, but I'm down to 80% throttle, so be cautious about that. And I do run really quite far wide there as well. So have a good lift, maybe even a double brake if you're not too confident going through there. 2 board, we're braking downhill again, nice and heavy, 2nd gear. There's a little dip here that if you can get in, it will just help rotate the car a little bit. There's also a dip at turn 5, but I normally avoid that one in this thing. Coming up to the most awkward corner again around this place, it is the Carousel. Now, I actually plow it straight into here, full throttle. You can go to 4th if you wish, and then down back into 3rd to get a bit of engine braking. But you can see here, all I'm doing is playing around with the throttle and try and get that nose, bringing it back over to the right-hand side of the circuit to try and give that curb there a little tickle, and normally gives us a pretty decent exit on the curve on the left-hand side. The kink, the famous kink, just before the 1 board, you are lifting ever so slightly, turn in. You can use all the curb in this. The bump there that you just seen there, it doesn't affect the car too much, but just be careful of the exit, because it is very easy to get wrong and kill a load of people in a funnel type thing. You've probably seen it on the Twitch clips. Anyway, 3 board. Coming into Canada corner now, 3 board, heavy braking all the way down to second. Try and get the curb. You can cut a little bit of grass there, and that's one of the bits that I do actually completely miss that corner, and you get another snap of oversteer to top it off. So try and get a bit cleaner than I did through there. This little kink here, just at this point when we straighten up on the curbing on the right hand side, big lift, I say good 70%, loads of curb. It doesn't really matter too much on here, and just don't be careful of running wide. The tarmac change is our braking point for the last corner. Again, brake in a straight line. Try and use the left-hand side curb to really open up the corner and get a good exit. You can see me building up the throttle as much as I can, as much as I dare. All the curb on exit as well, but on full throttle quite early to give me a best run down this long straight for the start-finish. And that is us done and dusted. Now, obviously, getting a good exit out of that last corner will help with the next lap, so just bear that in mind. And that was a completely purple lap, which is weird because it wasn't my fastest. So how does that work? So that is us across the line in a 2:05.380. So yeah, not my quickest, but definitely my smoothest, minus that mistake at Canada corner. So yeah, the more apex you can get on there, the more it will help you on the exit as well. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Catch you on the next one.